Welcome to our weekly podcast on immigration law. We do all things immigration for the United States, and we do it once a week. If you like our content, love for you to hit the subscribe button. Of course, give us a like. It gets our information out there to all the people on YouTube through the algorithm. We do a lot of free stuff, so check us out. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of stories we've been seeing a lot. We've been seeing these stories from our own clients, but we're going to reference some stories from social media. We've got a work permit delay that resulted in some problems for an individual. We'll talk about that. We also have some stories about the visa stamping in India. It's been a big problem over the last year during COVID and some of the stories that go around that. We also have a new law that's passed the House of Representatives. We'll get into the details on it for you. There's some good things in there. And then we're going to wrap it up a little bit with some questions and answers from you guys out there. All right, let's kick it off. So as you guys know, the H-4 EAD, now the H-4 EAD, spouses of H-1Bs, are eligible for an EAD when the H-1B has an approved I-140. Okay, that means they've done the green card process and finished step 2. So essentially we've had this ridiculous breakdown in the H-4 work permit process over the last 2.5 years. Specifically in the Trump administration, they added new requirements, number one. Number two, they also did not look at hiring new staff to handle the gradually growing group of H-4 EADs. And also number three, they had COVID delays along with, one more point, they didn't have enough contractors to print work permits. So a bunch of things happened in a series of events that happened about 2.5 years ago, caused massive delays for work permits being granted. And we're still dealing with those today. In fact, the wait for an H-4 work permit, or almost any work permit, has been as high as 13 months officially, and we have seen unofficially delays in the regularly in 12 months, sometimes even longer. Now, the story that we saw recently on social media was a story about a woman who had a H-4 EAD and was given a promotion at work. And she got a promotion, but her EAD expired, all right? She'd been at the job for 3.5 years, but the last work permit, the one during this last few years, had a major delay, and her last EAD was approved into August, and then she had an extension of it, and at this point, she's past the 180 days automatic extension. The work permit still has not arrived, and essentially, she's going to lose the promotion. And this story on social media was a woman who actually said she's been working for the Gates Foundation, and she's had jobs with the World Bank, and she does a high level of work in a very integral part of a community that, getting need out to people. So she deals with sustainability. So it deals with how some of these world organizations actually provide needs to specific kinds of programs. Okay, so anyways, it looks like she's not going to be able to get her EAD extension, and she's going to lose her job. Now, I relayed this story to you because it's very popular on social media. We see it on Twitter. But the truth is, I am getting these calls every week. We get phone calls every week with just questions. Hey, is this going to work for me to get me extra time? Hey, should I try this angle or that angle? And right now, the bottom line is there's a 180-day extension automatically for EADs that are filed, okay, on time. If you ask for extensions, you give an automatic 180 days. The processing time for EADs is at 13 months. So we have seen just a complete dysfunction from immigration, and we do not see the administration making a change to this at this time. We're going to follow up with you soon as we get more information, but I want to relay this story to you guys so you guys know what's going on. It's not just you. You're not alone. It's happening to many people out there. And this story is particularly sad because she lost an opportunity for a big promotion. Okay. On another story altogether, we have the U.S. visa stamping in India. Over the last year, essentially visa stamping in India has been almost at a shutdown. It's been open and closed intermittently, with a lot of people trying to visit family. Again, social media is replete with the stories, and I get the phone calls, and we have clients with it all the time. Clients want to go to India. They've got marriages. They've got funerals. They've got sick mother and father. They've got all sorts of things happening that are the life events that we all want to be a part of. We go to these events to support our friends and family, and we celebrate with them in these events. And these are very natural that people want to go and do these things. People aren't saying they want to go on a whim. It's literally to be a part of a family event. That's once in a lifetime and very important. The problem has become getting a visa appointment has been near impossible. And there are people I know stuck in India. Again, I get calls on that. I have people planning on going to India. Here's what you need to know. There is some availability for visa appointments, and the bottom line is getting into those appointments is very, very hard. Individuals who have been struggling with this have now formed are in a Telegram group, very specifically a Telegram group connected to the U.S. consulates in India, where they are sharing information about how to get appointments, sharing information about appointment availability, and actually cooperating as a group to make sure people are getting scheduled for appointments for the few that do open up. Keep in mind that when you try to register for an appointment through the USCIS system, if you log in too many times, it'll actually block you for a period of 3 days or 72 hours, okay? So we understand that these things aren't working and don't make sense. This is one solution that I think is really, really popular. Check out the Telegram group. If we can get the link for it, we will, and put it up for you guys. We're not members of that Telegram group, so I can't really promote too much more about it, except to tell you that it is a group of people who are working together to try to get these appointments scheduled in an organized way. All right, in legal news, we do have the House bill. There's a new bill called the America Competes Act, and it's passed the House of Representatives. It would change immigration policy specifically for foreign students in advanced degrees in engineering and other STEM-related fields. And what they want to do, and this bill has done, is create a new visa category. I think I reported on that last time, the W visa. But what else the other thing that they're doing is they're looking at making F1 students to be exempt from existing cap numbers for residency. Now that's a very, very big deal, because what they're really saying is, why don't we start creating new groups of individuals for residency, which is essentially one of the problems we have right now. Residency is based upon what country you're from, and a cap per country based upon the overall volume from every country. And it becomes a little bit silly when you have a student who's here at the age of 21, 22, 23, getting their first job, getting into our immigration system, and then having to go through residency. These kind of solutions, very creative, I really like them because they're providing an actual solution. There's a lot of complaining, there's a lot of we don't know, and then there's a lot of inaction by the government, literally doing nothing. It's great to see the House being so proactive. It tells me what I have known for a long time, that your representatives, the House of Representatives, there's a group of about 24 representatives who are very, very active in immigration. They are listening and coming up with real creative solutions, and this is one of them. So the bill has passed the House. It's called the America Competes Act. And one other part in it, there's another provision about individuals working in climate change and solar energy, and they're adding some money to that program to see if it can help as well. We'll update you more on that. Obviously, it needs to pass the Senate. After that, it would go to the president. So there's a lot of things that need to happen. But this is another bill that we like because it's showing us creative solutions to the immigration problems that we see every day. Check our old video for the W visa. We went into depth on that. But the next part here is creating an exemption for F1 students for the residency cap. That'll be really great. All right, we got some questions to answer for you guys. You guys always ask questions. We got some answers. All right. I got this question. My H-1B stamping has expired in November 2017. Am I eligible for visa waiver if I travel outside the U.S., or do I need to get an appointment for visa? Thank you. So in this question, whether you're eligible for a visa, the first thing you should talk to your attorney about is automatic revalidation, okay? If you have an expired H-1B, you should always look at automatic revalidation as a means to getting a new visa. If you don't know what automatic revalidation is, look it up on our website. We've done videos about it. And if not, we'll put together some stuff for you guys to find, okay? The next thing is, am I eligible for visa waiver? You're going to have to look directly at the consulate rules for that. I can't advise on those things, mostly because even if you're eligible for the visa waiver, the drop box has been closed and opened, and there's a lot of particulars with that. So I don't want to answer these questions without a lot more information, and frankly, it's something you should go over with your attorney if you get drop box eligible, which is the visa waiver. And that's what I would say. Getting an appointment is going to be very difficult. We just talked about the Telegram group that does that. If you want to look at that, you should try. All right, I've got another question from Sarl Shretha. How long can a U.S. permanent resident travel outside the USA? A quick Google search, and I-131 instructions tells me 12 months. Is that true? All right, so if you got a green card, if you're a permanent resident, you must live and work in the United States. That means file taxes as a resident. United States residents are allowed to be gone, but if you're gone for 365 days or more straight, automatic revocation of your green card. So the hard and fast law is 365. Gone for a straight 365. If you're gone for 1 year or more, automatically lose your green card. It's within the law. If you come back at 364, you don't lose your green card, but you probably have a problem. Within the law, there's another provision that talks about being gone 6 months or more and how that creates an assumption that you might not be living here. So therein lies your major problem. You might go for 6 months, and then when you come back, you get pulled over, Border Patrol asks you a bunch of questions. Well, that's because they're looking at whether you live here or not. And you're going to have to look at your travel history as well as that trip itself, how long you're gone. I would tell you this, if you're going for long periods of time, you're going to have to get an attorney to help you with an I-131. There are some set of exceptions that are really good if you work for a U.S. company overseas, you're part of the U.S. military, that you can apply for or show. But basically, you're going to have to look at getting an advance permission to stay outside the United States for more than 12 months. So the hard and fast rule is 12 months. The wiggle room area, 6 months or more. You need to start looking at that. And also, if you have a lot of travel history of 6 months or more, or 5 months, or 4 months every year, or you go for 4 months, you come back for 2, you go for 4 months, immigration might apply rules to you that you have lost your permanent residence because you don't actually live here. Okay? If you got questions about that, give us a call. If you like the content we give out here, because we do a ton of free content, give us a subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends. The Google algorithm really helps us out because lots of people want information, and I get calls from you guys every week about how our information is very, very helpful. All right, stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.